Our Aize Residence project is situated at Oseni Street of Shillong Road, Pangu, near Pan. And we decided to take up that project in the location for two major reasons. We wanted to serve upward mobile professionals who prefer to live on the mainland. And secondly, there's something about that location that is very rare. It's an already developed area, but then we have an opportunity to purchase lands side by side. So we are actually purchasing about 12, 14, 16, 18 on a single row in an already developed environment. That's very rare, considering that mainland generally just already developed. And so that's why we decided, okay, it's worth the investment if we bring a court of residential luxury apartment to that environment. Since we have a location that is right at the center of the city, mainland city, and we have a long span of land that we are able to purchase from different family lines side by side, and then we could just do fence it around and put something very nice there for, of course, like I said, upward mobile professionals who are living to live a very comfortable, effective lifestyle in the mainland. Talking about the features, what prospects or what buyers of Aize Residence should expect is nothing less than what is available for luxury real estate apartments all around the world. So I'm just going to give you a background of what Aize Residence is really made up of. So eventually we're going to be having not less than, I'm saying not less than because now we are having more properties being offered us to acquire. So we're going to be having not less than 4 blocks of luxury apartments. In each block there are going to be 8 residential apartments, 3-bedroom with PQ. The entire ground floor is going to be for parking, and then the first floor, the living area starts from the first floor. So aside from the ground floor, which is dedicated for parking on each block, we have 4 floors up. On each floor we have 2 residential apartments, 3-bedroom apartments with PQ. They are going to be fully, neatly finished. The kitchen is going to be fully furnished, so aside from the refrigerator. So cooking gas, heat extractor, the standard luxury apartments you are used to when you see the properties in the island. Expect that also in this part of the mainland. That's our plan. It's coming with a lift because it's 4 floors, so it's going to be coming with a lift. It's going to be coming with central HVAC, central air conditioning. Each apartment will have a central outdoor unit and then indoor units in all of the rooms, including the living room. It's going to have a swimming pool. Each block will have 2 blocks will be sharing a swimming pool. We're going to be making use of green technologies, and 2 major features of our property that has this green technology characteristics are the sewage system. So our sewage system is being built with biogas technology. We're using biogas technology so that we can recycle the sewage waste into gas and then channel it back into the kitchen for the homeowners' usage. And that will help the homeowners to reduce their utility bills because they won't have to buy gas. And this is a guarantee. We've done it. Our biogas partners do this. It's a new technology. It works. So that's one of the green technologies we're using. Second green technology we're using, of course, is the popular solar power. So aside from the power supply we're going to be getting from a coal electricity distribution company, we're going to be backing that up with solar power. So we are expecting our buyers or owners of Aize apartments to enjoy 24 hours power supply using solar power. So these are two major green technology features that prospects should expect. One thing I can guarantee our prospects is that we want to build a company that people can point and say, Afrihood, these guys are different. They're doing everything not just to make money but to please their clients. And everyone who has subscribed so far can attest to the fact that I personally try as much as possible to show how far we are trying to go to ensure that what we say we will do, we will do. Okay, so like I said earlier, we are building for upward mobile professionals who see the mainland as a place of residence. And as a matter of fact, one of the reasons why we have even decided to focus more on the mainland is because many people are beginning to realize that highland, as good as it is, mainland can be better off if only the quality of residential homes that we see on the island is available on the mainland. And many of our current clients and prospects are people who are residents on the island but are looking to move to the mainland. So our target, which is also marketing strategy, area of time, is to serve those people who are looking to invest or to move from the island to the mainland, but also people who have the purchasing power already resident in the island. They're looking for something really luxury, something that adds to their comfort because they can afford it. They're already on the mainland, but they want to live in an apartment that enhances their lifestyle. We are very, very uncompromising as far as quality is concerned. So starting from structure, we have over time made use of the most expensive iron rods, Tiger TMT iron rods. We also make sure we follow due process as far as construction is concerned. So upon every casting we do, it's expected of us to do material testing. We don't compromise that. Luckily, we have an engineer who is very thorough, meticulous when it comes to things like that. So as far as our structure is concerned, okay, we use the highest quality materials, basically iron rods, and not compromising the mixture of our concrete. That's as far as our structure is concerned. Now for the finishing, what we have done and what we are doing is we are picking partners and vendors who are excellent over many years, who have been very excellent in delivering those finishing. So for instance, for our biogas, I don't want to mention names now. I'm not going to give them any favoritism at least for now. So when I beat my chest and tell you our biogas is going to work, it's because we're using vendors who have done this over the years in many other African countries, and they're now doing it in Nigeria. So for our biogas digester system, recycling, the metering of gas, we are making use of partners who do this thing. They've done it over and over again, and so there is no guesswork happening. Same thing as our HVAC partners. I'm tempted to mention their name. They're very popular in Nigeria. So we're making use of trusted, tested partners to provide our finishing for us. And as far as materials are concerned, for instance, tile, we try as much as possible to patronize highest quality local materials. For instance, in all honesty, for Aize Residence, we're going to be making use of Nigerian made tiles, but of the highest grade. Some of our Nigerian made tiles are even better than some imported tiles. So we're going to be making use of Nigerian made tiles. For the things that we're going to be importing, we are trying to be very careful because of the exchange rates. So we're only going to be importing materials that we can't get the best locally made materials. And so that's what we're doing. So at the end of the day, we are not going to compromise quality for any reason. And we're also not going to make sure that, aside from quality, the aesthetics that people will expect, that we have shared, during our marketing and campaigning period, is what we are going to be doing as far as the aesthetics is concerned. Our vision as a company is to raise the living standard of Africans, one building at a time. The inspiration is that we want Africans to begin to experience the same standard of living, the quality of life that is experienced in developing countries or the developed world. And if you notice, regardless of your financial class, wherever you are in the developed world, there is a decency of living, a minimum requirement, a minimum standard. So it's been a passion for me, especially when I watch these things on TV, and then I privilege to travel, and then I see that regardless of your class, there's just this minimum standard of living that exists in the developed world. So it's been a driving force for me. I long to bring that here. Regardless of your financial class, there should be a minimum living standard that Africans should experience as human beings. And that's why, in as much as we call what we're building luxury, it's affordable. And that's where affordable luxury came about. And really, these things shouldn't have been called luxury in the developed world, in US, mainland, for instance. You don't need to be rich to have HVAC in their own place, heating system in your apartment. But here, air conditioning shouldn't be in luxury, it should be fundamental. So things like that are the things that have driven us to say, okay, let's bring the human standard of living that we see in the developed world back to Africa here. And that's also what inspired the vision of Aize Residence. So if you notice, we are promising what people term luxury, but that's going to be a typical feature that all of our projects are going to be typically known for. All of those basic features that we have listed. They sound luxury, but we want to make them very common, very popular. And that's why we're not necessarily tooting our horns to say we are only for the 1% of the 1%. Yes, we're going to be having properties that are for a very exclusive members of the society, high luxury. But even properties that are meant for the average individuals, okay, by all standards will still look like luxury because we want to change the standard of living. So when people are providing these things from very exclusive individuals, we are saying we're going to be providing these things for an average Nigerian. We're going to turn as much as possible to beat down the price so that an average Nigerian will be able to afford these things. And it's time. It will no longer be a luxury plus fundamental. So that's us changing the yardstick, raising the bar of what living should be.